Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to cover all the tools and options you have with the File menu button in Google Slides. So if you go to File in the top left corner, you're going to see all the different options you have with the File menu button. Now, Share is the very same thing as if I go to the top right corner and hit Share. It's doing the same thing. It's launching you into the sharing options, so I'll go ahead and click that since I'm demonstrating each option. You're going to type someone's name that you want to share the slide with, either the right to edit, view, or comment. So if I type in my father's name, Edward Nemick, and I click on his email, I am now able to send him this Google slide, and he can edit the slideshow as if he is the owner. He can, if I want him to only comment, I can tell I want him to only comment, and if I want him to only view, I can select only view. I can write a custom email telling him why I'm sharing the slide with him and maybe seeking some input from him. Now, if I don't want to share with a specific person, but I want to let everyone in the organization view the slideshow, I can go get a shareable link by clicking on the chain in the top right corner. And then right now it's going to default to anyone in our system can just view it. Again, I can do other things with sharing like I covered in other videos. I can click where it says view. And this is where I can comment or edit. I highly suggest you don't do edit because that would be a nightmare because everybody in the system would be able to change your slideshow unless that is what you want to achieve. But if I want to go beyond our system, I will click right here and go to more. And this is where I can select anyone with a link in the world can view. Again, I would not change the view to anything other than view because that means that they can make changes to it and anyone in the world can put something on that slideshow. So be careful and mindful of that. So I'll click save, and now I have a link that I can put in an email or on my website that anyone can click on, and they'll see this slideshow and they can only view it. I'll hit done to save those settings. Going down the menu, we have new. That's just going to launch you into another Google app that you can use. Open is just going to allow you to open a previous slideshow or file from Google Drive. So I can open pretty much any one of my slideshows that I have in Google Drive. And then going down to rename, this is no different than if I were to type something up here by clicking up there or doing it by going to rename. So if I click up here to rename the Google slideshow, it's the same thing as going file rename. It's just taking you up here to rename the file. Making a copy is nice, so I can rename this and say new example, and I can save it in my drive, and I don't have to share it with the same people if I originally shared it with them and hit OK. That's going to create a copy of your presentation, and you can now make revisions to it that maybe you want to do and not affect a slideshow that somebody has shared with you. So that's a nice thing to do if you're wanting to add stuff to the slideshow that you want to do on your own and not as a group. Moving down, you can move this slideshow to any folder in your drive by clicking on that folder in your drive and hit move. You can even create a new folder, title that folder, and create it, and then move it there. It's no different than going to this folder and clicking on it and doing the same thing that I just showed you. So a lot of the things that you see in these menus that I'm covering in this video are already on the toolbar. It's just another way of getting to them. Moving into trash is going to delete this Google slide. Now import slides is nice. It's not on your toolbar that I've seen. You're going to go to import slides and you can select a slideshow that you've created. Let's go to example, our demo 858, and hit select, and it's going to show you all the slides that you can copy and import. You can select all the slides you want to copy and say import slides, and you're going to bring those slides into your Google slideshow. That's a really nice feature. So now if I go file, version history, this is the same thing as me coming up here and clicking on all changes saved in Drive. It's going to bring up the version history that I covered in a previous video, which is a very powerful feature, and you should use it if you want to look at what changes have happened or go back to a specific time in your Google Slideshow's history. And then download is going to let you choose how you want to convert the slideshow. So if you want it to be in a PowerPoint format or a PDF, you can just click it, and then you can open that file format that you've selected for your slideshow. Going down the file menu button, publish to web is definitely one of the more powerful features that I'm going to show you on the file menu button. If you click publish to web, this basically is going to create a link that anyone can click on in the world and see this slideshow. And then you can set exactly how long the slide transitions are on your slide when they click on the link and when to start it. So if you want them to see the slideshow as soon as they open the web page, and then as soon as it goes to the last slide, have it restart. Make sure under published content and settings that you are not limiting to your district. If this is something you're wanting to show someone outside the school system, again, if you want to restrict it to your school system, you can do this for a layer of privacy. Something that's really cool is if you want to embed it in your website, it'll go ahead and give you the embed code. You just simply have to copy it. Make sure you go ahead and make your changes before you do this. So like if you want to make it large, notice the embed code changes. You can change the time, I believe, whenever you want. The code is going to be the same. And again, you can say start as soon as someone clicks on your website and restart at the end. And you can see the embed code change while I did that. All I have to do is copy this and put this on my website, and I've got a slideshow that's running when anyone goes there. Okay, moving down to the last few options. Email collaborators. So if I have collaborators already, invited, I can simply just write an email. Since I have no collaborators, I have to invite them. So that's why you see this warning right here saying there are no collaborators. So I would need to add them, and then I can just simply write an email to them and communicate with them. Moving on down to attachment, I can get a PDF or PowerPoint or text attachment, type someone's email in and a message and send it to them. I guess this is a quicker way than going into an email and going to your drive and attaching it that way. Lastly, you have document details, just tells you what folder it's in, when it was created, who the owner is. Language, the language you want to set your slideshow in. Your page setup is important because this is where you can adjust your screen to match the projector aspect ratio or the TV aspect ratio in your classroom or your presenter room. 4:3, a little more boxy. Your traditional setup right now should be a 16:9, and it's just changing the aspect ratio of your presentation. Print preview is nice. This is actually where you can print a copy of your slides and hand them out. Right now, if you want to change it, you got to go to the top left corner and say, I want 1 slide per page. All right. And then I can go and say, well, I want 2 slides per page and print, or I want 9 slides per page and print. You can also do slide 1 with notes. And so you'll see the notes with slide 1. Interestingly, I haven't seen it where it says multiple notes. You can also go to download this as a PDF if you want to. You can go ahead and hit print. So you got a lot of options here that you can use. So I'm going to close the preview. And then lastly, you have print. So this is a quick overview of the options you have with Google Slides in the file menu, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching.